wish good morning to all our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome you to this very event, the 12th edition of the National Economic Outlook, a signature event of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria.
Looking ahead, inflation is projected to further moderate to about 12.94% in 2026, supported by improved supply conditions and a firm but supportive monetary policy stance. So we thank CBN for making sure that there has been that consistency over the time.
The 12th National Economic Outlook, organized by the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, Center for Financial Studies, CIBN-CFS, in collaboration with Adedipe Associates Limited, BAA Consult, was held on 15 January 2026 at the Bankers House, Victoria Island, Lagos. The forum examined Nigeria's evolving economic landscape with a strong focus on the transition from far-reaching and often painful reform to a new phase centered on consolidation, credibility, and sustainable growth. Presentations at the event, particularly by the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), underscored the importance of carefully managing this transition to ensure macroeconomic stability. The CBN noted that effective policy coordination and consistent implementation could help restore investor confidence and strengthen economic resilience, positioning Nigeria for sustained growth as Africa's largest economy.
We welcome the President for his opening remarks. My name remains Adedipe Associates. I'm the Director of Center for Financial Studies of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. Please a round of applause for Mr. President.
Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, scholars that are here, people, academics that are here, we recognize every one of you, all the participants that are here. Thank you for coming. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to 2026. It is with great pleasure and sincere appreciation that I extend my warmest wishes to you all for a successful, healthy, and prosperous years ahead. I'm highly optimistic that this year is going to be another wonderful year in the annals of this country. I'm delighted to welcome you to the 12th National Economic Outlook, a flagship platform that has consistently provided rigorous dialogue, evidence-based analysis, and forward-looking perspectives on the Nigerian economic future. On behalf of the Governing Council of our great institutes, members and staff of this institute, I thank you for honoring our invitation and for your continued commitment to informed engagement on national economic issues. This event is particularly significant as it marks the institute's first official engagement for 2026. It sets the tone of our policy conversations and stakeholder self-engagement for the year, reaffirming the Institute's commitment to thought leadership, evidence-based advocacy, and constructive contribution to the national economic discourse in our 6 decades of existence. It is therefore timely that we begin this year by jointly examining the economic outlook and its implication for business and financial service industry, of which in one way or the other we are all participants. In recent times, Nigerians have pursued bold reforms aimed at stabilizing the economy, strengthening physical sustainability, and also restoring investors' confidence. Measures such as exchange rate liberalization and subsidy adjustments have begun to address long-standing structural imbalances, hardened with notable short-term adjustment pressures. Inflation remained elevated in the double digits throughout 2025, averaging about 20% during the year, before easing to 14.45% in November 2025. Looking ahead, inflation is projected to further moderate to about 12.94% in 2026, supported by improved supply conditions and a firm but supportive monetary policy stance. So we thank CBN for making sure that there has been that consistency over the time. Supported by improved supply conditions and a firm but supportive monetary policy instance. The Naira is expected to remain broadly stable this year, trading with 1,000 to 400, between 1,400 to 1,500 per US dollar rate, while GDP growth is forecast at 4.49% in 2026, driven by productivity gains in the real sector and improved crude oil exports. External reserves are projected to rise to about $51.04 billion, providing a stronger buffer against external shocks that we may experience. Looking ahead, the key challenge is how to translate macroeconomic reforms into inclusive growth, sustainable job creation, and tangible improvements in the welfare of Nigeria. Of particular importance are the new tax reforms that took effect on the 1st of January 2026, which aim to broaden the tax base, improve revenue mobilization and compliance, and reduce inefficiencies in fiscal system, while deliberately protecting small businesses and low-income earners through targeted exceptions, thresholds, and relief measures that is being put in place. If well implemented, these reforms could strengthen public finance, reduce reliance on volatile oil revenues, and also create physical space for investment in infrastructure, social services, and human capital. Achieving these outcomes will require policy consistency, disciplined execution, and close collaboration among governments and the private sector and development partners, alongside a renewed focus on productivity, value addition in infrastructure, human capital development, and financial system stability. So we can see that all of us have a part to play. Even when we are particular, we are here today to listen to what the expert will say. My admonition is very clear that we are all major stakeholders and we have a role to play. And my belief is that we should stand tall and be able to play our roles accordingly so that we can build an ecosystem that all of us will be able to be proud of. So today's program is enriched by a distinguished lineup of speakers whose depth of expertise will significantly enrich your discussions. We are honored to receive a goodwill message from Dr. Mohamed Sani Abdullahi, Deputy Governor, Economic Policy Central Bank of Nigeria, whose participation underscores the importance of this platform in fostering informed economic dialogue and strengthening policy industry engagement. We are also honored to have here very good friends and iconic economist, Dr. Buba Musa, the DG of the West African Institute of Financial Economic Management, WIFE, and who is currently the President and Chairman of Council of the Nigerian Economic Society, as our key speaker. His extensive experience in macroeconomic management and policy coordination will provide valuable insight into the challenges and opportunities facing Nigeria and the West African region as a whole. In addition, we are pleased to welcome Professor Adedipe, a very consummate professional and iconic leader of thought, especially in this area, who is the progenitor of the economic habit that all of us are looking for in this country today. He came with the ideas of years ago, and we are the forerunner, and I'm glad that he's still, in this race, providing that leadership and also training people who are coming behind to take over, from us. Good to have you, sir. We are very proud of you as a member of the institute. You'll be here to present a comprehensive, data-driven overview of the Nigerian economy. Furthermore, our panel session will feature seasoned experts from both the public and the private sectors, offering diverse perspectives that will further enrich the dialogue and deepen our collective understanding on the issues before us. As Mr. Drucker wisely observed, and I quote, the best way to predict the future is to create it. So we are here this morning, we are not just coming here to warm the seat, we are here to listen, to participate, and also to be able to create a future know for this country that all of us will be proud of. So I encourage all participants to engage actively, share insights openly, and contribute meaningfully to the discussion. Once again, on behalf of the Council of Chartered Bankers of Nigeria, I warmly welcome you to the 12th National Economic Outlook and wish you a very productive and impactful deliberation. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you.